Well, this is it. The final of Players' Championship 22. The last game of PDC Pro Tour action for pretty much a month. When it all resumes at the end of August, when the Euro Tour starts back up. And what a way to go out. We are either going to see somebody claim their very first PDC ranking title, Jermaine Wattimena, or we're going to see Brendan Dolan win his first for almost half a decade. It is the machine gun, Jermaine Wattimena, the number 2 from the Netherlands, versus the history maker, Brendan Dolan, the number 2 from Northern Ireland. I'm Dan Dawson. I'm joined by Loop's number 2, Chris Murphy.
Day of the number 2s, Dan, because it is a couple of national number 2s looking to be the number 1 at Players' Championship 22 in the absence
outside.
of
Jermaine's won the ball.
Superior countrymen.
Jermaine to throw first.
And to be fair, it will be some doing to be the number 1 in those countries, because Jermaine Wattimena's World Cup pairs partner Daryl Gurney is the world number 3. Sorry, Michael van Gerwen is the world number 1, and Brendan Dolan's partner Daryl Gurney is the world number 3.
60.
Not a bad backup, and we were having the conversation, or some people were having the conversation during the World Match Play, whether Dutch darts was in decline.
96.
Jermaine Wattimena was kind of overlooked in that conversation, despite being the number 2. I'm not sure how much attention he pays to that kind of thing, but he's certainly making a claim here, isn't he, in his second PDC final?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that I think it may have annoyed Jermaine in that he's been getting better for a good 2 or 3 years now. Regularly making quarters and semi-finals. Made his first final early this year. Only lost to Van Gerwen. Now he's in a second second final. But even though he's the second highest ranked Dutchman, everybody goes, "Oh, it's Jeffrey de Zwaan. He's the second best player from the Netherlands." Yes, 81. Of course, he's done some incredible stuff, but he's not been as consistent as Jermaine, has he?
93.
Yep, consistency is the key. There weren't many players more consistent than Brendan Dolan in the years 2013 and 2014, a period which saw him win all of those 5 PDC titles.
In a row, 59. By the way, in terms of finals, 5 consecutive final wins.
36.
Can afford to miss those ones, Jermaine, because Brendan Dolan's probably had one of his worst scoring legs all day. He's the top performer out of the entire field of players today, averaging more than 98.
57.
Double 4.
Game shot.
Start the charge. It was a charge back that Wattimena had to make in the semi-final against his bogeyman Mensah Suljovic, and you could see, those of you that are watching that here on Stream 1, Jermaine's reaction at the end of that match was elation and relief all mixed together.
140.
Well, it can go one of 2 ways, can't it? He can either, that was his final, his first ever win against Mensah, and this is just
100.
He collapses, cannot get himself up for this match just a few minutes later, or he just surfs on a wave of adrenaline. At the moment, it's been a pretty strong start. It looks like it might be the latter.
100.
Yeah, began his day with a double Dutch success, wins over Christian Kiss and Jelle Klaassen before seeing off Ryan Joyce. Then was taken all the way by Germany's Gabriel Clemens in the last 16 before a quarter-final win against Steve Beaton, in which Wattimena missed the double 12 wire by a margin of millimetres for a 9-darter. But he did win that match 6-2 before that comeback victory against Suljovic books his place in this decider.
And Brendan Dolan has got 6 darts to see this off. Is he looking down at these 17s? Yeah. So now at the 18s. And he doesn't need to go for the ball.
89.
And that's the bonus of going that route. You can just stay on the 18s and then come back for the double 16. Brendan's thrown 3 10+ averages today. Now that is more than he'd thrown all year leading up to today. Shows you how well he's played.
Well, this is usually his forte.
Game shot.
It is 32 to level up. was
140.
an extremely high standard in that semi-final between Brendan Dolan and Cody Harris. Both men averaging over 100. Dolan
59.
claimed a 7-3 success. Big day for Cody Harris as well.
140.
Let's not forget about his achievements ahead of a trip back down to New Zealand in the World Series. He'll be appearing in Hamilton. Of course, he's heading back to play on the Challenge Tour before that, Cody Harris, but really good weekend's
60.
work. And there were a few Challenge Tour players that declined the opportunity to come here. He's shown what an opportunity you could make in the absence of many of the tour card holders this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It also shows how competitive the Challenge Tour is. It's turned into a very strong second division, if you like, with players who can come and have an impact on the full tour. Double 16 for Jermaine.
73.
Well, 2 more misses. He did this in the first leg, and they're not crucial because Brendan is a long way back. He has not challenged on Jermaine's throw as yet.
140.
Well, the 140 shouldn't disturb him. Double 4 it is for the second time in the match.
Game shot.
Wattimena wins. A stronghold of throw.
Nothing in their head-to-head stats suggests a great advantage for one guy over the other. They've played 6, both won 3. Played twice
45.
last year. It was 1 win apiece, pretty convincing wins. You've got to go back to 2016 and 2015 for all their other matches.
140.
But Jermaine is very much a player on the up. It is not, it's not been a stellar rise over the last 3 years, but it's been a steady and consistent rise, and that in itself may be more encouraging. It's not like he's just had a fantastic 3 months somewhere.
180.
Maximum for Brendan. Only his 6th of the day, believe it or not, despite averaging more than 98 for the day.
99.
You wouldn't think that Wattimena's throwing style lends itself to a consistent level of performance. But all day he's been around that low to mid 90s range, putting in similar displays.
100.
Producing the goods when he's needed to.
Well, as always, it's about timing in this game, isn't it? When can you produce those big visits?
98.
If you can miss a few darts at double, do it when you're allowed to, not when you're under pressure.
Yes, the art mastered by another top dart player with the nicknames JW. Initials, rather. But the machine gun has been producing
60.
big stuff when required. Of course, that near miss on the 9. One of 2 Dutchmen to go 8 darts into a
44.
perfect leg this afternoon. Ron Muhlenkamp the other.
Now, this is a big moment. Does Brendan Dolan have the ability to come up with the goods? I don't think that's in. It isn't in.
56.
And Wattimena has a chance.
The treble needed, not found.
56.
Similar visits from the pair of them, but now Brendan Dolan should get the job done here and level up at 2 apiece. Remember, it's a longer race. But if he does hit this, it will effectively make it the same race as it has been
40.
most of the afternoon. He hasn't hit, and now a real chance for Wattimena.
Only going to get 1 dart. It's double 16.
32.
And he misses the chance. And yes, it's early in this final. Yes, it's a longer format. But these are the moments that one of these two is probably going to look back and rue come the end of this. It was a last leg decider that sorted the final out yesterday.
Game shot.
Dolan levels up at 2 apiece, an apologetic wave of the hand, but not sure he
174.
means sorry. Sparks Wattimena into life, kicking off this 5th leg with a 174. It's as good as a max.
$136. 140.
Well, he had these little bursts, Jermaine, against Mensur Suljevic in the semi-final. But his scoring was good throughout. It was the doubling that
140.
was a bit in and out. It was poor at the start of the match and he went 4-0 down, but once he started tidying things up, he was looking very dangerous and reeled in a guy he'd never beaten before in his career.
Well, there may be an opening about to appear for Brendan Dolan. If he can carve out a big score here, that's not the best start. Might not even end up on a finish.
45.
Took his time before that visit. He saw that Wattimena was on a big three-figure out. And
57.
I think he kind of knew the importance, knew that the chance could come if he hit something big, and maybe that just put a little bit too much pressure in his own mind.
140 is what he's after.
140
is what he gets. Leaves himself on double top. Wattimena, 18 segment. Now the bullseye. The machine gun
50.
misses by a distance.
And in the end, the chance has arrived for Brendan. He's surprised to receive it. You could see that, the bemusement on Brendan's face. But Dolan finds at double top and finds himself in front for the first time in the final.
Now again, it's those situations, you see it so often where a guy is... Oh, hello. You don't often see that. That was the Brendan Dolan yoga home video. If you want to buy the VHS cassette of that,
97.
Exercises of a morning. Just keep yourself lithe and supple like the history maker Brendan Dolan.
96.
Yeah, you see somebody have a chance to break the throw, they miss a couple of darts, and then the very next leg, it's as if they've expended all their energy and they're broken themselves. They've gone from potentially having a 1 or 2 leg lead to being behind themselves in the blink of an eye.
Thanks for saying blink of an eye. It's brought me out of the hypnotic state that Brendan Dolan just put me in.
It is mesmeric, isn't it?
58.
I also find it hilarious that Dolan sports a shirt with 4-leaf clovers on that only have 3 leaves.
Does that mean... So surely then... Never mind.
98.
Well, it is the 4-leaf ones that are meant to be lucky, isn't it? But Brendan's making his own luck here.
81.
In with a chance to open up some daylight.
60.
Just the 60. Jermaine has got to try and get his maths right. Or he could just smash it into the treble 20 with all 3 darts. That's the better option, Jermaine. Leaves himself a 2-dart checkout. The 146 won't go for Brendan. Wattimena. The 88.
60.
He had a dart at the bull in the last leg and couldn't take it. The 86 he gets to at the outer ring. And he only needs 1. Superb. Wattimena hits back.
$140. 140. 140.
Well, 140's a go-go here. Oh, even better. Big stuff.
It was a filthy-looking maximum.
60.
No such thing, man.
Well, it's only been responded to by a score of 60 from Wattimena. It does leave a checkout, but Brendan Dolan will be on a much handier one after this visit.
Well, we saw 4 legs all holds a throw. Then we've seen 2 breaks back to back. We might be about to see a third, because that's a great leg of darts from Brendan Dolan. 44 left after 9. And Wattimena cannot take the 161.
85.
And the Northern Irish number 2, who was, of course, Northern Ireland's number 1 for a very, very long time. Up in the top 10 in the world rankings for a good spell, Brendan Dolan. Recapturing some of that. Producing it here in Hildesheim today. This year we have seen some big names claim these titles. The likes of Van Gerwen, Chisnell, Gerwin Price, Adrian Lewis. These are established winners, guys right at the top of the world rankings.
136.
Glenn Durrant, of course, a 3-time world champion, claiming his first ranking titles in the Players' Championship Series. Krzysztof Ratajski's won 5 of these things in 18 months, but there have been more left field winners, first-time winners. Willie O'Connor, the Irishman. Harry Ward, the young lad from Derbyshire, who continues to impress. I think whether it be the first time winner Jermaine Wattimena or the first time in 5 years winner Brendan Dolan, you'd have to put them into that latter category of a surprise winner, or certainly a left field winner for the day, when there's so much quality in the 128-man field and proven winners.
I have to go.
100.
Wattimena can leave himself handy here.
100.
After 1-2-1, Dolan not on a finish.
100 to leave 168. Very Beaton-esque from the history maker.
77 scored.
Yes.
91.
Dolan providing his own commentary on this final.
94.
He'll have to keep stum as Wattimena eyes up this 1-2-1. Treble 17. Would have given him his heart at the bull. Brendan Dolan
85.
has the chance to pull clear. It'll be 42 for 32.
Big moment in this. Not seen a 2-leg gap open up in this final as yet. We might be about to see one. 20 for tops. Not moving.
Game shot.
Just stands and delivers, and Brendan Dolan holds throw and opens up a 2-leg gap.
3 legs away
59.
from a first title for 5 years. Brendan Dolan began the afternoon with a victory against the Dutch number 2 elect, Jeffrey de Zwaan, before seeing off Alan Norris,
112.
Dave Chisnell and Glenn Durrant. Astonishing list of names to beat en route to the semis, where he demolished
96.
Cody Harris in a really high standard encounter.
Yeah, he has not had it easy.
But he's upped his game for every opponent that he's needed to. He averaged 106.7 when Chisnell threw an average of 102.2 against him. Shaded the ton plus average of Harris in the semi.
99.
You know, Brendan Dolan has not forgotten how to win titles. He's won 5 of them. That's more than Darryl Gurney has won, for example. Just so happens 2 of Gurney's are the biggest.
Well, yeah, we could have not been talking about Brendan Dolan at all, because in the last couple of seasons, the World Championship has really been the thing that has kept him a tour card, because he had to go to the qualifiers
57.
a couple of years ago and won the qualifiers to get to Ali Pali, and then this year, with his tour card under real threat, at the end of this season, he went and got to the quarterfinals and trousered £50,000.
Yeah, and he sits 40th in the world rankings at the minute, and he'll be going up as a result of this. But he has a habit of doing that. Brendan Dolan, of course, he said he probably wouldn't have gone to Q school. That would have been it for him had he dropped out of the top 64 and lost his card. But he was going to walk away from the game entirely until he had a run at the Grand Prix all the way to the final and hit that history-making double start 9-darter. He has a habit of producing incredible things that change his career. And can this checkout put him 6-3 up in the final
Game
It
shot.
does. And he needs 2 more legs, Brendan. It's not done yet. I don't know if that's celebration. He doesn't think he's won the whole thing, does he?
Well, Dolan does need a couple more legs, but it's within his
85.
sights now. And it might be half a decade since Brendan Dolan tasted victory.
58.
But he has been there, done it, and worn the T-shirt, and Wattimena hasn't yet. And maybe that will prove to be the difference in this decider.
Well, I go back to 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when Michael van Gerwen, he was really establishing
140.
himself as the dominant force in world darts. And he would say, Brendan Dolan is the most underrated player on this
140.
planet. People do not give him the respect he deserves. He may not be flashy, he may not be quick, he may not be eye-catching, but if you just sit down and look what he is capable of doing, he is right up there with the hardest players to beat. And it's not about his speed, it's about his skill, it's about his
140.
bottle.
Well,
121.
that is a bit of a darting disaster for Wattimena. The single 19 would have left him a finish. Would have been the big fish. Brendan Dolan knows he has half a dozen darts to clean this up and move within 1 of a 6th PDC
60.
title. Not many players have a haul that high.
Certainly not. Oh, I genuinely thought he was looking
121.
for a 180 to leave double one there for a moment, Jermaine. In the end, he moved over to the 18s, and a poor dart may cost him, because if this doesn't go for Dolan, Wattimena may only get 1 dart for the leg. But Dolan has been taking things out.
56.
Not this time.
Choices. Went for the 25. It is going to be 1 dart at double. He's chosen double top. Hasn't hit
41.
double top. Never looked settled at all in that visit, Jermaine Wattimena. He'd be rather more unsettled if Dolan can peg double 10.
What is Brendan Dolan feeling right now?
Game shot.
Is he feeling nervous, or is it just like slipping back into an old pair of shoes? This feeling of being in finals and being on the
100.
brink of winning titles. Is it just like it was 6 years ago when he was winning them regularly, or is he nervous? Does it feel the same? I don't know.
Well, he can buy a new pair of shoes when he collects a cheque for 10 grand.
60.
Dolan, who celebrated his birthday on Friday, 46 years of age.
100.
Could be some party when he returns back to Northern Ireland.
$60.
Well, it is, of course, not over yet. Jermaine Wattimena came from
180.
4 legs behind against Mensur Suljovic and turned the match around, but crucially, Brendan Dolan is just 1 away.
$137.
The Dutch route for the 1-2-1.
85.
Misses on the outside on double 18.
Interestingly for Brendan Dolan as well, in that run of finals, he'd never been taken closer than a margin of 3 legs in
81.
the 5 finals that he won. That was the first one against Ricky Evans.
Game shot.
Well, Wattimena has found double 18 to move within 3 legs, but if Dolan wins this one, it will be another dominant final victory for Dolan. That included a 6-1 win against Jamie Lewis, a 6-2 win against Gary Anderson, and a whitewash win against Michael Smith.
180.
And what a way to start this leg. Brendan Dolan just composed himself there. And Wattimena has hit
180.
back. Fair play, Jermaine.
Well, we have the potential to see the greatest leg of all time.
100.
We could have seen history made, but that's not going to happen. Wattimena can't repeat the trick of earlier when he got
59.
8 darts into the 9, but he's done well to try and keep within touching distance of Dolan.
Well, Brendan will be telling himself 2 visits from here, and Wattimena can do nothing about it. Oh, no, 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 Brendan.
55.
And that is silly, silly stuff, because he's left a bogey number.
He did not have to stay there with that last dart. A trip downstairs
128.
would have left him a finish.
Not for the first time. Brendan Dolan leaves a bogey number. Now, sometimes you get away with it. Moving over to the 18s.
98.
2 darts away from the title, potentially.
Harris hit this finish to save his skin against Brendan Dolan in the semi-finals.
94.
Well, at least to earn himself a stay of execution, but Wattimena has been unable to take it out. He's left himself on tops. But Brendan Dolan is going to have a dart to win.
52.
Chance missed. Wattimena is waiting.
Waiting to pounce. And
Game
does
shot.
pounce. And Jermaine Wattimena cuts the gap to just 1 leg. Sorry, 2 legs. It'll be 1 leg if he can hold.
119.
Brendan Dolan knows he will have 1 more chance to serve out the match on his own throw. But this is a free go just to try and attack the Wattimena throw, get the job done
99.
before what would be an increasingly nervy opportunity for Brendan.
I just wonder if Jermaine can draw on
81.
the very recent experience that he had half an hour or so ago in pulling himself back against Mensah Suljovic. He's playing another opponent who is a stark contrast in style to him, a much slower pace
95.
thrower. I don't know how much that match could have helped him, but it won't be in his mind
97.
now anymore, the fact that he's beat it. We saw at the end of that match the emotion that Jermaine Wattimena, the relief that seemed to pour out of him at the end of that. Now he's sniffing a chance to win this final.
And significantly, Jermaine Wattimena is set to average more than he has done in
60.
any game today. That is saying something for a guy playing in only his 2nd PDC final. Sometimes when these opportunities
59.
arrive, players can shrink and not be able to know how to deal with it, not play their best. But this is good from Jermaine. It might not be good enough.
Well, Brendan is going to leave a finish.
100.
It's a similar kind of finish to the one in front of Wattimena right now.
65.
That will do. Guarantees him a dart at double to win the leg, but will there be a chance to take out this 80? Because if Brendan Dolan can produce the 147 break, he would have been taking home the title.
39.
Well, does not worry Jermaine, that one. But he only gets 1 dart. It's a double top.
60.
It's just short. This should have been easier. This could have been so much easier for Brendan, but he can only get 1 match dart in this visit. I would imagine he'll look at the 19 segment. No, he's going up for the 18s. To win it.
Game shot.
Dolan's delights in Deutschland. Brendan Dolan picks up a 6th PDC title and his first in 5 years. What a win for the history maker, who takes the title, picks up a cheque for £10,000 and denies Jermaine Wattimena a first win on the PDC Pro Tour. Brendan Dolan, once the king of the floor, has finally got his mojo back. A conciliatory chat with Jermaine and a little hug, a show of sportsmanship from Brendan Dolan, but you can see what it means to him. This man is not history. He is very much in the present. Brendan Dolan, the winner of Players' Championship 22. Let's hear from Brendan now. Your winner. He's going to have a word with Dan.
Brendan, it's been a while, but this is what happens nowadays. Come stand here. Just here. We'll talk into that one.
All right.
Brendan Dolan, a PDC title winner for the first time in nearly half a decade. How are you feeling?
Oh, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because, you know, I've worked so hard and I haven't got any effort, I haven't got, you know, results out of it. And yesterday, the way I played, like, it was unbelievably bad, and I just felt like quitting. And I sent my wife a text and she told me to wise up. I just can't believe it.
She was right. She was right. And look what you've done today. You've been the top performer from the date. You've had 107 average against Chizzy, 100 average against an inspired Cody Harris in the semis. And you've got the job done there with some really good stuff and bottle at crucial times, Brendan.
Well, definitely the bottle just turned out like... I used to always say, if I get past the first round, I'm dangerous. And that's the problem. I've not got past the first or second round. I haven't just... The head hasn't been in it this last... You know, I've tried really hard this last 18 months and not got the results, but I've performed really well. So I think I got the luck on the day. I haven't had luck any other day, and I think I've got the luck on the day today, and it's just great to get a win.
Well, look, here come. We're going to take a step forward here. Just so everybody needs to see this, the history maker, Brendan Dolan. Right. What did it feel like in the closing stages of this tournament? Was it like, was it how you felt 5-6 years ago when you were winning titles on a regular basis? Was it just like slipping back into that, or was it more nervous? What was it like?
No, to be honest, I can't remember 5 years ago. I just really couldn't remember how to win. I really couldn't. And today it was about saving face. I performed, unfortunately it was on streaming board yesterday. I performed and it was desperate. It was unbelievable. And I just wanted to come on a streaming board and play well. So today, you know, I had a couple of streaming boards. It wasn't the best I played all day because I played really, really well against Dave Chisnell. Dave Chisnell and me had an unbelievably good game. I don't think there was a better game all day. And I got lucky. I won it. And it could easily be him here now when there's, I don't know, 14, 15. But I've won my sixth. Get in.
Sick. Look, you had a great run at the World Championship. You made the quarterfinals there. That was, I mean, there was a genuine chance that you might not be playing darts right now if you hadn't gone on that run at that tournament. And it worked out the way, and now you're winning titles again.
I know, but it's about pressure. This game's all about pressure, and it's about the mental pressure and what you think of. I obviously thought of all the wrong things, and I pressurised myself all the time. And even today, and that's what my wife done today with the text message. She just took all the pressure off me. And time we just played darts. Great.
I'm going to start as well. I'm going to have to wrap this up because he's crying and I'm going to cry too. Luke Productions and the good people at PDC TV are back. It's going to be a little while though. The Euro Tour starts up at the end of the month. This man, Brendan Dolan, has rounded off the 22nd Players' Championship event of this year with his first win for 5 years. Krzysztof Ratajski won yesterday. We will see you later on this year for the resumption of the Players' Championship Series, the rest of the Euro Tour. For now, you can amuse yourself with the World Series of Darts. We've got 2 events in Australia and New Zealand, and you'll see that man, Cody Harris, who was superb today, but not quite good enough to beat this man in the semis.
Cheers.